Why, hello there, young wizards. Welcome to our remedial class on Roshambo. Now, I know you're all familiar with how magic used to work in the spiral. Ice and fire are opposites, yada yada. But now, apparently, a pirate has informed me that magic must now follow a more formulaic approach. Don't ask why. I have orders from someone who outranks Bartleby and Raven. I suspect that the annoying Cabal is behind this, but I don't know anymore. Also, furthermore, things may randomly and arbitrarily change without notice. That is why I will just cover the basics today and not specific spells. Got it? Excellent. Let's get started, young wizards. Let's take a closer look at this magic wheel here. The outer schools are the elemental schools, storm, fire, and ice. The inner schools are the spirit schools, death, life, and myth. And balance is in the middle because why not? I guess it makes sense. Apparently, Storm's specialties are blades, and I guess heal over times. Storms are weak against ice because ice spells can easily remove blades, but ice doesn't have heal over time counters for some reason. Quite odd. Ice does have the spell called Snowdrift, though, but the pirate fellow is calling that, disdainfully I might add, a legacy spell. And nobody uses that spell, literally nobody. Moving on to the Fire School. This hasn't changed much, thank Bartleby and Raven. Fire still specializes on damage over time spells. You know, your fire elves and manders and whatnot. And I guess fire is now weak against storm. Think of storm as like a fire extinguisher. I wasn't going to talk about specific spells, but apparently Stormzilla can now remove damage over time effects and turn them into blades. It used to be Kraken's job, but they randomly reassigned it to Stormzilla. Now Kraken removes infections and weaknesses from the opponent so you can heal over time. I know, wild, right? Now let's talk about ice magic. Are there any ice wizards here in the audience? No? They're probably off in the arena somewhere. Ice is weak against damage over time spells. However, they are good at casting shields, apparently. Everyone uses shields, but I guess ice wizards are the best at it. There's even a secret ice golem upgrade that lets you conjure up 2 set shields after hitting your opponent, but don't quote me on that. I'm not sure if they'll change it. For the spirit schools, we have brought back the ghost of Professor Malistaire Drake as a guest lecturer. How did I do this, you ask? Well, it's probably just RNG, I guess. Anyway, let's hear from Professor Malistaire about the spirit schools.
Hello, young wizards. It's been a while since we fought in Darkmoor and Dragonspire. Do you miss my dungeons yet? Yes. I heard about those new raids. Just not the same, isn't it? I never made my challengers play platform games on what was marketed as a card game. Anyways, I will start explaining the Life School. It's self-explanatory, really. Life uses a lot of heal over time spells. Healing was Sylvia's specialty. She and I are doing well on the other side. She says hello to everyone. Apparently, Life can also remove traps and damage over time spells. I didn't make the rules this time, so don't blame me. Dvorgin can explain more in the future. Obviously, death magic counters life magic. Necromancers such as myself and Jacob Roseblade are capable of ending your little jading spree with our creatures of the night.
Myth is my brother Cyrus's speciality. The powers that be has declared myth magic basically undebuffable, if that is an actual word. Myth used to have great minions like Talos, and Baba Yaga used to cook up better eggs. Now, you just have this weird egg that death wizards love to drain off of. They say that myth is good at dishing out deferred damage and traps. They also used to be able to use Medusa to stun enemies for 2 rounds, but they got rid of that after almost a decade. Anyway, those are the spirit schools. I'll leave the rest up to you, Headmaster. Now I take my leave of this nostalgic place.
All right then. Thank you, Professor Emeritus Malistaire Drake. Have a safe trip back, and please don't come back. Or maybe, I don't know. Just be safe. Anyway, the last school is balance. I'm afraid Professor Alhazred doesn't want to visit, so I'll explain the school myself. Balance is, balance. It is basically a mirror school that echoes other effects from the other schools. The echoes are kind of useless, though. Basically, no one uses them. It's more practical to remove debuffs and shields and damage overtimes than to echo them. So, anyway, I hope you learned a lot during our lesson. Do you have any questions?
Hi, Headmaster Ambrose. Are there any plans to buff Storm or yeet the ELO system? ELO isn't compatible with all the RNG and PvP.
Ah, yes. Liam, the Storm School prefect. I'll have to ask the powers that be about this. But to quote a certain pirate, you Storms have the highest DPP of all the schools. It's simply a skill issue. Now stop asking important questions and just plan for the next school group project, raid. Don't make me expel you from Ravenwood like I did to that spider-obsessed girl, she who must not be named.
Darn it. Fine. I will teleport myself to Tim Hortons and get myself a sandwich. Then I will 1v1 you in the arena. No treasure cards.
Fine by me. We will stream this at the next live. I will not hesitate to use the pet version of Myth Banshee. I am a Myth Banshee warlord, so you better watch out. And so it comes to this. You, shaking in your 2 large robes, a flimsy wand trembling in your grasp, the sour scent of fear sweat in the air, and me, exultant in my mastery of magic. In a small way, I should thank you. If you had not sent me spinning off into the void, had not destroyed Morgs, I might not have been able to achieve this. At my moment of greatest pain and confusion and despair, the locked gates of the spiral opened before me, and I was able to master Shadow, and Shadow take any who get in our way. I challenged you under the ancient law of Kandavasi. It is just between us now, wizard. Prepare your spells and face my cold fury.
What are you talking about, bro? It's just gonna be a practice match. And didn't you rip off that speech from Malistaire? I should report you for academic dishonesty.